Please note this call is being recorded. We may use this for our purposes, including staff training and providing you with services and support.
G'day people, I am suffering a bit of pain. Old teeth are giving me grief. Just a bit of a background. My teeth aren't fucked because of drug use. My teeth aren't fucked because of anything other than sugar drinks. I love Coca-Cola, I love sugar drinks, and I've got what would be called soda pop mouth, or whatever you want to call it. That combined with the fact that back when I was a youngster, when I was a teenager, I had an aneurysm. They put me on this drug called Dilantin or phenytoin, which is an anti-inflammatory. I was on that quite heavily for the first 3 to 4 years, and because of which, what it did is it made all the tips of my gums and everything swell. For some reason, the dentist used to often joke that I looked like a pregnant woman because a pregnant woman's mouth gums also swell, apparently. Don't know, never been pregnant. So the whole point being is that yeah, I hated brushing my teeth. I hated the taste of blood, which always happened when I brushed my teeth. So I never had the habit of doing so. Of course, I'm paying for it now in the long run. My teeth are all hurting like fuck. They have done for years, and they've slowly just rotted away. So I'm going to ring up WINZ, and you know, if you're a beneficiary, you know, if you're using your person to obtain a benefit, then you generally get about, I think it's $300 a year in dental allowance, as they call it. Doesn't that make you feel like a child? So you get an allowance. What I want to do is, I have, you know, obviously downloaded the Social Securities Act 1964. I've downloaded a couple of Social Security Amendment Acts as well. But I'm trying to find the schedule or the list or the regulations stating what temporary additional supports can be assisted, and stating the limits of dental help that they will go up to. Because I have had them, you know, pay up $1,200, but $900 of it was repayable. I don't care if I have to repay it, no problem. You slowly take whatever you need, so long as I'm not sitting here in pain. You know, 2 years ago, I went and got a couple of quotes done. I got a quote for the $1,200, which was accepted, and I also got a quote for about, I think it was $4,800, which required about 26 fillings back then. Since then, all the top rows are loose as fuck, and the bottom and top on this side at the end here have just got raw nerves that are just firing at will, and I'm not getting much sleep. So, starting to drive me a bit mental. I need to get something done, so I'm going to see what assistance I can get from them before I have to go to alternative measures and see what else there is. And I want to check the legislation, because I'm not just going to take their word for it. I'm going to go to the legislative website and see what rules they have to go by. The reason I'm doing that is because on occasion you can go into WINZ. I've heard of other friends that have gone in there and they've asked for a quote to be accepted for some thing that they needed, whatever it was. And though at first the caseworker, or whoever it is, has decided to just say no. Then they've had a complete meltdown, and then they've changed their mind. None of the facts had changed, it was just the opinion of the caseworker. So to me, if the caseworker's opinion is that all that changes a yes to a no, or a no to a yes, what is the limits that caseworker is bound by? Which is what I want to know. I don't want it to be up to opinion. I want to go by what the legislative rule says that they have to follow. I hope you get the difference. Anyway, see how we go. Let's ring them up.
Welcome to Work and Income. So I can put you through to the right place, please tell me how we can help you today.
Dental assistance.
Thank you. For faster handling of your call, please say or key in your 9-digit client number. Please hold while I transfer you. Welcome to Work and Income. Due to high caller demand, you may experience a delay in your call being answered. We apologize for any inconvenience. Please note this call is being recorded. We may use this for our purposes, including staff training and providing you with services and support. Good afternoon, you're speaking with Sharing, and am I speaking with Mark?
Yeah, sorry, what was your name?
My name is Sharing.
Sharing.
Yes, that's right. And
Cool.
Mark, are you calling about dental assistance today?
Yeah, just some
right.
questions.
So how can I help you with that exactly, Mark?
Well, the last time I went into the Helensville office would have been close on 2 years ago. I got some dental assistance back then, and
Right.
there were 2 quotes given. One was for $1,200 and one was for $4,800. The high one was just flat out refused, and the lower one was accepted, and apparently there was $300 that was non-refundable and the rest was over a certain period, so be it, whatever.
Right.
Now the smaller quote was for 1 root canal and some hygienist appointments which they needed to do first.
Right.
However, the higher quote was for the 26 other fillings, which I still have and need. Now, it's been a couple of years. I'm aware that you guys kind of have, what, a $300 limit per year for dental.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to find out is where I can find the legislative rules that state what you guys have for limits for dental. Under temporary assistance, what act do I go look up to find the schedule or the regulations that you guys have to adhere to in regards to dental services?
Okay, right. Now, I don't know much about that, basically, but I can try looking up just to see if that could be on the Work and Income website by any chance.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through the Social Securities Act 1964 a bit and had a look.
Right.
I've found all the schedules of what, normal beneficiaries, supported in, like myself, invalids benefit or whatever you want to call it these days.
Right.
And I can see all the schedules and all the, for accommodation supplements and all that sort of thing. But the temporary additional, and I know you guys do cover a wide range of things. I mean, you guys have even paid for a vasectomy for me before. So I'd like to know where I can find that list that states what you guys will actually help with.
Okay.
And
I
specific.
what your concern is here right now,
Cool.
Mark.
Yeah, because I can leave it to someone to just tell me, but I'd like to see where it's written so I can do my own due diligence, obviously.
Absolutely, I do understand. That's a very valid question. Now, Mark, at this point of time, I don't have that answer with me. Now, these kind of assistance are considered as a recoverable assistance, but a part of that is not recoverable. Pretty much $300 that you mentioned, which is provided every year.
That doesn't accrue.
What I'm going to do is, first of all, I will advise you here that at the moment, if your dental assistance, payment is required. I mean, if you are needing to do some kind of dental treatment.
Well, I've got a couple of extractions that are literally keeping me up at night at the moment. I'm throwing Bonjela on them to try and numb them, but I've got a raw nerve, and if I had a pair of pliers and a bit more gumption, I'd probably try it myself to save myself the cost. But I don't think I need to go to those extremes. I'm pretty sure that, the personage was set up to help me when I need it. So.
Absolutely. I would like to tell you something here right now.
Mm-hmm.
I do see that I'm looking on your entitlements right now, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
You do have an advance of $1,574.84 on the file right now, which could potentially go towards such kind of assistance if it is if the bill is quite high and all, which will be discussed by the case manager.
Sure.
And again, with that policy that you asked me, where it is on the Work and Income website, I will leave that up to the case manager because, again, they are not any specific to the dental. I don't think there's any such thing, but you can ask the case manager about this.
Surely there must be some regulation to give you guys a set limit. So I'm just curious as to what that is. But the reason I ask that is because I've had another friend that's come in for dental assistance in the last year or so.
Right.
And what happened with her is that initially her quote was declined by the case manager, but she actually sat there and pushed the issue somewhat, didn't accept no, basically, and she got quite upset. And now, in the end, the case manager changed her mind.
Right.
Now, to me, no facts whatsoever changed as to what was presented for her to say yes or no to. The only difference was that case manager's opinion had varied.
I see.
Okay, so if it's up to the case manager's opinion or best judgment, I need to know that, or if it's written, and to me, anything that's in the legislative rule of society, it must be written to be expressed,
I do
and
understand.
I should be able to look that up, but you know, I need to also have some sort of legal advice because it's all legally written documents. I don't understand legalese. I'm not a member of the Law Society, so I need obviously a legally trained professional to interpret the words into English so I know what they mean, obviously, as well.
Right, absolutely, Mark. I do understand what you're saying here.
Good,
Now,
awesome.
It also depends on also the entitlements which a client has on the file. You know, again,
Sure.
like I said to you, that
So I'd have the 300 and that other 1,000 possibly if it's up to the case manager.
exactly.
So it's up to the case manager. It's not up to anything written.
No, it's not only up to the case manager, basically. It's also up to the entitlements that you have got on the file. Right now,
Okay.
as I mentioned to you, I've already quoted that
Sure.
you've got a balance of $1,574.84.
Thank
so
you.
let's say if your dental assistance that you are needing, if it would cost around that much, probably we can look into, providing you the whole amount which is there in the advance.
Sure.
Could go towards the dental assistance if this need is really urgent for you. But
Sure.
again, those
Well, I mean,
decisions
those
are
sorts
made
of
by
things
the
have-
case manager on a daily basis, Mark.
Yeah.
And I will leave that up to the case manager. And I'm more than happy to look for an urgent emergency appointment if you are having,
Well, it is hurting, but would I not first need to go and get a quote?
Yes, absolutely. You will need to get a code.
So there'd be no point making an appointment first with WINZ and then having to go and get the quote.
I mean, it is better to bring in a quote first.
Yeah.
For
So
Mark, because
I'll do that first, and what I'll do is I'll call you guys back and hopefully get an
not a
emergency,
problem.
or perhaps
Please
even
do
just
let
a.
us know how much it's going to cost us.
Sure.
Cost you, and we will try our best to help you out with this appointment, Mark.
But
okay?
it's roughly around 1,500 that there's a balance there that I have accessible if need be.
Right.
Is that
Again, I won't make any sort of promises or
No, of course not,
Just
of course
a
not.
contact center, Mark, as you do know.
Oh yeah, because as far as I'm aware, each centre has a balance of how much they're issued each day that they can actually issue themselves, and they can't
I
go
don't
over
know much
this.
about that anyway. But Mark, yes, just feel free to call us back so that we can book that emergency appointment for you.
Sure.
Mark.
So where can I find that legislative stuff? Do you guys have a legal department that can supply that information to me?
I don't know much about that, Mark. Okay.
Well,
Let me see-
who does? Is there someone there that does?
Let me just see if this information could anywhere exist. I will just try to find that out for you, Mark. Okay?
Sure. Thank you.
Stay on the line. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience, Mark, and sorry about that hold. Are you there?
Yep.
Yes, not specifically onto the work and income website, but you may like to Google it. Okay. All I could find out was this policy potentially may be laid down on this particular link. It is called Social Security Act 1964, Mark. You might just like to Google it.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through the Social Securities Act 1964 a bit and had a look. Yeah, no, as you may have heard before, I said I've already perused the Social Security Act 1964 quite a bit and not been able to find it. So, I mean, and sorry, I've just got to interrupt there. And I mean, Googling it is really not a good enough answer. I mean, I'm calling a government department to find out government legislation, which you guys should have on hand. or at least somebody there to be able to point me in the right direction.
I do understand. Like I said,
you know,
I have a very limited information about.
Sure, it's a shame. I mean, I sympathise with you. It must be difficult without all the information at hand like that. It's got to be tough.
That's all right. We deal with the clients on a daily basis.
Sure,
These are not the information that we discuss with the clients, or these are not something which we are trained on. Again, that's a policy part. So what I will advise you here in this case, the best thing would be when you give us a call back for the appointment.
Sure.
At the time of the appointment, you can discuss this with the case manager,
Sure.
and the case manager would be able to sit down with you and look into these,
awesome.
or the policy that you are
Brilliant.
about the market.
Yeah, because I mean, I do notice that some.
To find out the answer for them, because they do know everything. I mean, they have a lot of things.
I do notice on some of those forms there, it always states, you know, under blah, 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 Social Securities Act, whatever, in section, it usually states something like that on each of the forms. So you're right, it'd probably be easier to ask at the time.
Sorry, my apologies. I don't mean to be rude or anything.
No, that's all right.
We are a contact center. We have very limited information besides booking an appointment and all those.
Sure,
so,
sure. No, that's fair enough.
They will be able to look into this anyway, Mark.
That's great. That's great.
Anything
awesome.
Else,
no, you've been totally helpful. Thank you so much.
Yourself. Have a good day, okay?
And you too, my friend.
Yes. Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye. So there you go. He told me what I already told him. And just like the IRD, Google it. So I will. We'll see how we go. Otherwise, we'll have an interesting meeting. I might even ask for an extended appointment because I wish to discuss some matters. We'll see how we go. I may be able to record that one. I may not. Either way, I don't care. I can just have the camera filming me. I don't give a fuck. See you guys. We'll see how it continues and what happens next. See ya.